Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our City Council meeting this Monday, May 11th, 2026 at 1 o'clock p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Pickett?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Martin?
Here, ma'am.
Councilman Botta?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Caraballo?
Here, ma'am. Please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Almighty God in heaven, we ask thy blessings upon those gathered here this afternoon and upon all of the citizens of Port St. Lucie. Look with favor on our leaders and give them the insights, the wisdom, and the patience to deal with the problems and tasks coming before them. Please bless their work and their deliberations. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're on proclamations and special presentations. We have a proclamation for National Public Works Week, and the proclamation reads, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the City of Port St. Lucie. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of our public works professionals, who are federally mandated first responders, and the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens in the City of Port St. Lucie to gain knowledge and understanding of the importance of public works, first responders, and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now, therefore, I, Shannon M. Martin, Mayor of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, do hereby proclaim May 17th through 23rd, 2026 to be observed as National Public Works Week. Colt, are you here? Council, would you like to come down for a photo? Look at this amazing team.
Right up here. 3, 2, 1. We'll do one more. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to take the opportunity to just acknowledge Tom Salvador. I know they're leaving Public Works.
Yeah.
Tom Salvador, Robert Carlson, Beth Zoska, John Dutton, and Andrew Gomez were recognized recently at the APWA, American Public Works Association, Florida chapter. They received various awards representing the city quite well, so we appreciate the opportunity that we've had to recognize them today.
Absolutely. We have an amazing Public Works team. And I checked with Colt, and he also said that we can officially say that we did receive our reaccreditation by the American Public Works Association, so great job to everyone. And Colt, thanks to you and the entire team for your service to our community. We so appreciate all that you do, especially in the fast-paced world that we live in and all the things that are going on in our city with regard to all of our infrastructure and facilities projects.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, City Manager, and City Attorney's Office. This is with great pride, and as you see, we have a great team behind us here, and it is truly with them that we were able to win it. And, you know, unfortunately, I wasn't up there at the award ceremony, but from what I was told, it was pretty much every award or every other award was going to our table, and we really represented the state well. And we couldn't do it without your support, and thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Colt, before you leave, I also have a note to share with the city council that Colt was recognized with the Engineer of the Year Award by the Florida Engineering Society Treasure Coast chapter as well.
Woo!
Thank you.
Congratulations, Colt.
Thank you.
All right, we are on to the Granicus Digital Government Website of the Year Award presentation. Lots of awards today that we're very proud of. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, City Council, for allowing us to come here and to present this award to you. I'm Bill from Granicus, and this is my colleague, Sarah. Granicus has been a long-term partner with Port St. Lucie, and we're incredibly proud to recognize Port St. Lucie as a winner in the 15th Annual Granicus Digital Government Awards. I'm honored to be here with you today on behalf of Granicus to present this well-deserved award to your team. I've personally worked with your team for 4 years and have been impressed by their focus to improve the resident experience and be innovative. Port St. Lucie completely reinvented itself with their digital front door for a modern mobile-first website built around what residents told the city they needed most. The redesign transformed the online experience into a clean, intuitive, and radically more accessible platform that reflects a fast-growing, high-expectation community. The city overhaul went far beyond refreshing visuals. The city used resident behavior, data, and direct feedback to rebuild navigation, surface high-level services, and simplify complex information. The result is a website that reduces friction, strengthens transparency around budgets and city priorities, and supports rapid updates across departments. It's a future-ready foundation that will evolve alongside a booming city. Congratulations to the entire team. This award celebrates your leadership, your hard work behind the scenes, and the positive impact that you've made in your community. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Teresa, do you want to accept it on behalf of the staff?
And then, Madam Mayor, if I may, when everyone's coming up, I was just quickly looking. A lot of times we live in our bubble, and residents don't maybe go to other city websites. They only go to theirs, right? So they don't know how good this one is in comparison to others. But there's over 7,000 public sector organizations worldwide that use Granicus, over 6,000 local government entities, including the majority of the 50 largest cities in the U.S. So this wasn't just a feel-good award. This is a competitive award. And so we're very honored to receive it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll come down. I just wanted to let Vice Mayor finish talking.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, could we maybe like do rows if possible? Because this is. All right, right up here, we'll do a couple. 3, 2, 1. I'll do a couple more. 3, 2, 1, and one more. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Hold on, sorry guys. I'll do one more. Hold the phone. Sorry. Sorry, we got a cell phone. Social media. up here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Here you go. Thank you.
I want to thank our entire team for all of their hard work and dedication to redesigning our website, and the most important part of that is that we got the residents' feedback and made sure we were keeping our residents in mind when redesigning our website to make it efficient and to make it extremely transparent. So thank you all very much. Moving on to public to be heard, this is your opportunity to speak to the council for up to 3 minutes on any non-agenda related item. I have one person who signed up to speak, Mr. Prouse. And I realize you're going to speak about the parking revision ordinances, but it's not, they're not public hearings, so that's why you're speaking at this time.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. I apologize. It's kind of last minute. I wasn't available. I did send a note card in a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
So I just wanted to reiterate a few points, and time's already running, so I better make it quick. Madam Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, respected City Council members, thank you for your time. Specifically, I wanted to talk about agenda items 8, B, C, and D as it relates to parking, fences, and some of the things that are going on with the rearranging of vehicles, RVs, boats, things of that nature. Point number 1, we moved to that part of the city, which is, I believe, Madam Vice Mayor, District 5 is what I'm in. Because there's no HOA there. It's close to the ocean. I bought an extra piece of property next door so I could put my boats and stuff. Madam Vice Mayor, you actually came out and commented. It was nice. I mean, I kept it nice and clean. Point number 2, added a grass driveway a few years ago so that it could accommodate getting that in. I filed with the city. This is a picture. Okay, it's got my boats and trailers and everything in the lot, okay, that I own next door. Not unity of title, but it was approved to put in a grass driveway. So I thought, okay, that's cool. You know, I can do that. Taxes increased on the lots that I own. I have 2 of them over there by 91%. I went from about $250 a year to $1,950 a year. I understand the value. I get it. I understand you lowered the millage rate. It's still money out of a consumer's pocket. According to the changes on Chapter 41, specifically 08J, it's saying that you can build a fence now up to 6 feet high and park stuff behind it in your backyard. Point number 5, and the last one, is I got wrote up about 3 weeks ago. I spoke with Wesley Armstrong, and apparently it seems like there's confusion there about I can put up a fence in my backyard, but I live on a canal, but if I put it on my property, which is adjacent to the road, I can't, Wesley's telling me that I can't use the fence to hide stuff, but now you're saying you can hide stuff in your backyard. So what are the people on Green River Parkway, what are they going to do with boats and stuff? I mean, I don't understand. It seems like an inconsistency. So the other thing that I saw, the last point is, in your presentation as it relates to 2638, you said there's going to be a 6-month education and outreach program, right? So with that being said, what I'm asking the City Council today is, and I know I'm a day late and a dollar short, costs money to build a fence. It's going to take time, you know, to move stuff and do all that. Wesley, when I talked to him, he was only going to give me 30 days. I negotiated for 30 minutes with him, and I got 4 months, but your outreach program is 6 months. My ask is simple. Can we postpone passing these amendments for a year? Give the people a chance to save the money to build a fence, figure out how they're going to sell their property, how they're going to move stuff around. That's my only ask. City Council members, if you would consider that, I would appreciate it. I know you're going to second reading today. I don't necessarily understand government, but I appreciate your time, and that's my ask today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for your time, Mayor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. Would anyone else like to address the council, public to be heard? Seeing no one, I'll close public to be heard. Council?
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Proust, for coming. I have worked closely with staff about your request. I had received it. I think you shared it with the other council members. If Wes would come up and address some of your concerns as well as some clarification of what's being proposed today. And then Wes, also further, I would love for you to also clarify like codes, consistency on how we look at infractions. So for example, you know, entering someone's backyard that's not in plain view to see if something's behind. So I guess what I'm saying is that Green River Parkway is an example where we can all see in plain view if someone's storing things behind their property. But we don't enter in someone's backyard to see if something's behind that property if it's not in plain view. So there was a couple things. I think there's a little bit of confusion too, and it's great to have further clarification, Madam Mayor. So I would love Wes to just address some of the things that were brought up in the comments. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So pertaining to, Buddy and I have had a conversation in the past regarding the violation at his property. The ordinance we're asking to go into effect today would have nothing to do with that particular situation. The current ordinance, as it is, not the one up for review, the current ordinance has been on the books for about 40 years, states you cannot park a recreational vehicle unless it's to the front, side, or rear of a primary structure. And that's what the ordinance states. So we're not asking to change that ordinance in any way. You simply cannot store trailers and boats within a vacant lot in the city of Port St. Lucie. So if the properties were married, that then becomes the side of his property. Primary structure, you can park vehicles there. So when Buddy and I had spoken, that was the understanding. He would either relocate to his primary, where the primary structure is, legally parked, or to the or remove them completely from the vacant property. So no function of any of the ordinances going that we're recommending today would ever change that. You simply cannot store a vehicle or a recreational vehicle on a vacant property per the current ordinance. So as it relates to our staff simply just view from the front of the property. So if we can see a violation, we address it from city-owned property. We do not enter property, we do not look behind fences or anything like that. If there were a large privacy fence and we couldn't see over it, we wouldn't address anything there. The technical response will be, you cannot have a junkyard in your backyard because the ordinance says you cannot openly store anything. However, we don't look over fences. So when asked, I will provide the technical response, which is, if you have vehicles illegally parked on a vacant lot, and we can't see them, technically we wouldn't address that, but you still couldn't technically do it per our ordinance.
And just explain, like, I would love for you to explain the purpose. So, and maybe even confirm the purpose, I guess, is what I'm saying, is that the unity of title is to ensure that the person that has the property, the actual structure, is married to the structure, but that's also to protect residents from having someone clear a lot and essentially storing a ton of cars and a ton of boats without even being a principal structure in the neighborhood or having a home.
Correct. This is now essentially your property with the primary structure, and you're afforded all of the allowances to that primary structure, that property that has the primary structure. Outside of that, it is including, paying the taxes and everything as it relates to that. However, if you have a wooded vacant lot, there's no maintenance requirements and things like that afforded to that. So the city will maintain the front. It is the responsibility of the property to maintain the sides and rear of a wooded lot.
Okay. And then just the point, because I know you and I have had conversations, you have conversations with other council members as well, so I'm assuming the same things came up. I did ask the question why we were concerned about putting the fence to block people when they park their vehicles. And we have received complaints from residents before. There's certain, so unfortunately because of the state laws, there's certain businesses that are operating. They have automobiles that are parked that are in full display of the complete community, where they have multiple vehicles, multiple boats, and they become a nuisance in the community. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and why code has made this recommendation?
Correct. We received quite a few complaints as it relates to either home-based businesses, which are difficult, which state prohibits certain regulations of them. So if you have 15 cars in your backyard because you're essentially running a repair shop out of your home, your residentially zoned property, it becomes incredibly difficult to enforce that because of restrictions under Article 1, Section 23 of Florida Constitution, which is why we prohibit, which is why all of our inspections are done from the roadway. We do not enter the property, and we do not enter the side or rear of the property. If we're allowed legal vantage point from a neighbor who allows us in their backyard, but even then it's limited into what we can enforce. If we can visibly see that a tag is expired or it's inoperable in some way, but that's also difficult when we can't enter and look. So it does help with those issues specifically as it relates to neighboring complaints of, there's 10 boats in the backyard or trailers or inoperable vehicles, and now it's a junkyard.
Thank you. And then, Mr. Pross, we're going to continue to, I know, work with you, and he does have a great property. I just know that unity of title has to get sorted with him, staff, and the city attorney, and however that works. But as always, if you need anything, you can reach out to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Speak here, but I can reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir, always.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to additions and deletions to the agenda and approval of the agenda. Is there a motion, council?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of consent agenda. Does any member have anything they'd like to remove? If not, what is the motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to second reading of ordinances. 8A, ordinance 25-82.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending Chapter 41, Property Maintenance Code by amending Section 4106, Definitions, and amending Section 4108, Exterior Property Areas, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 25-82.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8B, ordinance 25-83.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending Title 7, Traffic Code, Chapter 72, Stopping, Standing, and Parking, Article 1, General Provisions, and Article 2, Administration and Enforcement, by amending Section 7201, Parking Prohibitions, amending Section 7203, Parking of Commercial Vehicles in Residential Zones, amending Section 7210, Utility Trailers in Residential Zones, and by amending Section 7299, Penalty, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 25-83.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8C, ordinance 25-84.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending Title 7, Traffic Code, Chapter 73, Recreational and Off-Road Vehicles, Article 1, Recreational Vehicles, by amending Section 7304, Parking, and amending Section 7399, Penalty, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 25-84.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8D, ordinance 26-38.
An ordinance amending Title 15, Land Usage, Chapter 153, Definitions, and Chapter 158, Zoning Code of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Port St. Lucie by amending Sections 15301, 158.222, and 158.217 to update driveway standards by adding new definitions, setbacks, and landscape area requirements, and by establishing typical lot scenario figures, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-38.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8E, ordinance 26-36.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, abandoning a 20-foot wide drainage and utility easement lying in Tract M, Port St. Lucie, Section 33, according to the plat thereof, as recorded in Plat Book 15, page 1 of the Public Records of St. Lucie County, Florida, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-36.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8F, ordinance 26-37.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, providing for the First Amendment to the Master Planned Unit Development Regulation Book and Concept Plan for Destination at Tradition MPUD, located west of Interstate 95, east of Southwest Village Parkway, and between Destination Way and Marshall Parkway. providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-37.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8G, ordinance 26-39.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending the comprehensive plan of the City of Port St. Lucie to provide a small-scale amendment to the future land use map to change the future land use designation for approximately 19.7 acres from residential golf course to commercial general for a parcel of land legally described as a portion of Section 6, Township 37 South, Range 39 East, and a portion of Section 31, Township 36 South, Range 30 East, generally located at the northeast corner of Crosstown Parkway and Range Line Road, and lots 1 to 5 of Verano Commercial Parcel Plat Number 1, as recorded in Plat Book 138, page 38 of the Public Records of St. Lucie County, Florida, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-39.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 10, first reading of ordinances. 10A and 10F are quasi-judicial proceedings. For anyone who is going to provide testimony on either of these two items, please stand and be sworn in by our clerk.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Thank you. Please read ordinance 26-40.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, rezoning approximately .28 acres of land located at the southeast corner of Southwest Port St. Lucie Boulevard and Southwest Babbitt Drive from single-family residential zoning district to general commercial zoning district for properties legally described as Port St. Lucie Section 33, Block 2320, Lot 1, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, council. Are there any ex parte communications to disclose? No?
No.
None for me either. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Council, Mr. City Attorney, Madam Assistant City Manager. My name is Marissa Darby-Lanchman. I have been sworn in, and the official file package was provided to the clerk at least 5 days prior to this meeting. Madam Clerk, please enter the file into the record. The request before you today, P26029, is for a rezoning. The applicant requests to rezone the subject property from single-family residential to general commercial to be consistent with the city's comprehensive plan, future land use map, and the adjoining property, which is under the same ownership. The applicant is Del Toro Law, and it's on behalf of the property owner, Midway Specialty Care Center, Inc. The parcel is located at the southeast corner of Southwest Port St. Lucie Boulevard and Southwest Babbitt Drive. And here's a depiction of the property. So this provides a zoning map. This is the parcel that is dashed. It is zoned residential, and it's right adjacent to the property under the same ownership, which is commercial. We have vacant land to the south. We have vacant land to the west. We have multifamily and the LMD across the street, and we have residential to the north and east. So this is the future land use map showing the commercial zoning to the south and west, and the commercial along the conversion area, Port St. Lucie Boulevard. So the proposed rezoning is consistent with policy 1.1.4.13 of the future land use element of the comprehensive plan. And here we have a depiction with the future land use in the commercial compatible zoning district. The proposed rezoning is compatible with the general commercial future land use classification. The parcel does not meet the minimum lot size requirement of 20,000 square feet, but it does when it's combined with the adjacent parcel under the same ownership, and a unity of title for the two parcels has been submitted. The Planning and Zoning Board recommended approval of the rezoning at their April 7th meeting. And this is the end of the presentation. Do you have any questions?
Council, any questions?
The applicant is here and also has a brief presentation.
Okay, great.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor.
Good afternoon.
Vice Mayor, members of the council. Had just was just a couple slides. I wasn't sure they were going to show how the properties work with each other. So basically on that corner, just a second slide, if we can do that. That's it. That's okay, that's good enough, I think.
You can see it.
Just you can see it. So you see that was the residential lot that hasn't been built on. We have the 3.1 acres just below that, and then below that is a CVS property. So we're looking to build a 12,000 square foot medical facility for infectious disease care that we specialize in and other specialties that'll be really located close to the new hospital. So we figured that would be the best use of that land. I don't think anyone's going to build a residential the way that it's so commercial on that strip, and that would, we believe we have enough land right now just for the parking and everything that we need for the size of the building, but that just guarantees us even more, and we're willing to do whatever we have to do as far as, with the neighbors and things like that, working with the city to make it look really nice.
Okay. Any questions? Great,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much. Okay. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on it? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-40.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any final discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 10B, ordinance 26-41.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, authorizing the conveyance of 3 residential real property lots to Port St. Lucie Habitat for Humanity, CHDO Incorporated, a Florida not-for-profit corporation, for the development of affordable homeownership units as part of the Home Investment Partnership Program with St. Lucie County, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council. I'm Christina Flores. I'm the Executive Project Manager for Neighborhood Services. Wanted to give a little background on this particular project. Back in June 2018, the city entered into a home investment partnership program consortium with St. Lucie County, Indian River, Martin County through a resolution. This home program regulates that we have to dedicate at least 15% of the home allocation to projects carried out through a community housing development organization, or CHODO as we call them. The St. Lucie County Home Consortium is made up of many different jurisdictions in the area, and St. Lucie County is the entity that leads them. In September 2025, this consortium released a request for proposal for qualified CHODOs to develop affordable single-family homes for income-eligible households through a CLT program. Following this evaluation process, the board chose St. Lucie Habitat for Humanity CHODO as the organization to lead the project. Through this partnership with St. Lucie County, the city will provide 3 properties for development for these affordable home ownership CLT units, helping ensure that the homes remain affordable in perpetuity. These properties included in the agreement are 636 Southwest Curry Street, 1050 Southeast Lansdowne Avenue, and 401 Southwest Duval Avenue. The properties will be conveyed to St. Lucie County Habitat for Humanity CHODO through a quitclaim deed that includes a reverter clause requiring the completion of the homes within the 3 years completion time frame. Otherwise, the ownership of these lots will revert back to the city. And at this time, I would like to introduce Bob Calhoun, from the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity, who's a longstanding partner who has worked collaboratively with the city and St. Lucie County to advance affordable housing initiatives.
Good afternoon, Mr. Calhoun. Nice to see you.
Good to see you and good to see all of you. Yeah, this is here largely to see if you have any questions of me, but also to thank you for taking this effort. One, joining the consortium. It's very efficient. It's actually providing these opportunities. And in the case of this one, the funding that was referenced has a restriction of a maximum income of that home buyer of 80% of area median income. So how that translates here in our community today, for a family of 4, that's $81,900. And that sets that ceiling.
the way we do our family selection, we also introduce a floor because we want people to be successful. So they've got a maximum, but they also have a minimum because I think we all know homes can get to be a little pricey sometimes. But we're able to deliver the product for that income group in two ways. One, we're very efficient builders, very good builders, but equally important is we provide the mortgage financing and service those loans. So we have the ability to know who that home buyer is, understand their financial limits, and keep that monthly mortgage payment at 30% or less of their income. So, any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Calhoun? No? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and hope to see you again.
Absolutely. We appreciate your partnership, sir. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-41.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Just want to say, it's really great that we adopted the CLT program. If residents have questions about it, I highly recommend them looking into it. I think it's a way to give people a hand up without truly giving them a handout. And the program has been very effective in some of the other areas that I've seen it work. And it's very different. It's a very different way of doing affordable housing and still keeping it affordable for the next homeowner. But at the same time, it's not hamstringing them where they're not going to be able to receive their next down payment for a future home purchase. So I think it's a really neat program.
Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 10C, ordinance 26-42.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, authorizing the mayor of the City of Port St. Lucie to grant a utility easement to Florida Power and Light Company for a portion of Track A, Tradition Regional Park, St. Lucie County, Florida, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-42.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 10D, ordinance 26-43.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending ordinance numbers 0522, 0612, and 2150 to contract the boundaries of the Verano No. 5 Community Development District pursuant to Chapter 190 Florida statutes, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-43.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 10E, ordinance 26-44.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending ordinance numbers 0520, 0610, and 2148 to contract the boundaries of the Verano No. 3 Community Development District pursuant to Chapter 190 Florida statutes, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-44.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 10F, ordinance 26-45.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, rezoning approximately .55 acres of land located northwest corner of Southwest Biltmore Street and Southwest Voltaire Terrace from single-family residential zoning district to service commercial zoning district for properties legally described as lots 15 and 16, block 626, Port St. Lucie, section 13, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, council. Any ex parte communications to disclose?
No.
I have none either. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, council, staff. For the record, Francis Foreman with the Planning and Zoning Division. And the official city packet has been given to the city clerks 5 days prior to this meeting. Madam Clerk, if you could please enter that packet into the record. The item before you is the Michael Kells rezoning. The owner of the property is Michael Kells with Ecom Enterprises LLC, with the applicant representing Mr. Kells is Rianne Sells Florida LLC. The location of this subject site is at 1892 Southwest Biltmore Street and 481 Southwest Voltaire Terrace, with the request again being a rezoning to approximately 0.55 acres from single-family residential or the RS2 zoning district to the service commercial zoning district. This is an aerial of the overall subject site. This site is located within the conversion area 25. As you can see, again, this is in that Biltmore area. This whole area is mostly industrial and warehousing. The overall future land use for the area is light industrial with service commercial, with this entire area has a compatible zoning district of service commercial. As you can see, this is the last two parcels to be rezoned to match that compatible zoning districts. As previously stated, this site is located within conversion area 25 and is the last two parcels within block 626 to be rezoned from single-family residential to a compatible zoning district for the LICS future land use designation. With this property being within the conversion area, there are certain things that the property does need to meet as far as minimum frontage, depth being unified together, as well as a landscape buffer wall if it is needed. Luckily, this property does abut other service commercial uses, so it does not need that buffer wall. The proposed rezoning is consistent with policy 11413 of the future land use element, which establishes the compatible zoning districts to their land uses. And as you can see here, based off of the chart located, that this use or the zoning district that is being requested of service commercial is a compatible zoning to those land uses. At the March 3rd Planning and Zoning Board, they did recommend approval of the rezoning application, and this concludes my presentation. I'm here to answer any questions you have as staff, and the applicant is here as well if you have any questions for them.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you. Does the applicant wish to make a presentation? No? Okay. Would anyone like to address the City Council? This is a public hearing. Please come forward if you would like to. Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-45.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to resolutions, 11A, Resolution 26-R35.
A resolution of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, clarifying the intended use of funds within the adopted capital improvement plan for the Torino Regional Park Project in connection with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection Recreational Trails Program, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-R35.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just excited to move forward with Torino. It's been a long time coming, so we're all very excited.
Absolutely. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We have no new business, so we're on to the city manager's report.
Yes, thank you. Just want to dole out some more congratulations to your city team. So we have Communications Director Sarah Prohaska. I don't see her here. Oh, there she is. Sorry. She was named Communicator of the Year by the Florida Municipal Communicators Association. So wanted to congratulate her on that. And we also have Carlos Camacho and Summer Burdick from the Utility Systems Department, who were also recognized at the American Public Works Association Florida chapter. So again, your utilities team also getting recognition at that conference. I also wanted to add in your agenda item today under consent, you approved another new water plant, and just wanted to share that with you and the public and the team. You know, this is our third water plant for the city, and this one will be using reverse osmosis. So we're just happy to continue working with utilities, your directive to make sure we're addressing the needs of the city.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Sarah. Congratulations to all. Thank you so much for all you do. Okay. Councilwoman Morgan, what do you got for us today?
Oh, just an announcement, no report. Upgrades have been successfully completed across several city parks to improve safety, enhance accessibility, and elevate the overall visitor experience. That included renovated restrooms, which are very, very important, at Oak Hammock Park, parking lot improvements at Veterans Memorial Park, and an upgraded playground surface at Sportsman's Park, and much more. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pickett?
Thank you, Mayor. The city invites the community to gather for Memorial Day service honoring the men and women who lost their lives while serving in the U.S. military. The annual event will be held Monday, May 25th at 10 a.m. at Veterans Memorial Park. Attendees will hear from distinguished speakers, including retired Army Major Frank Castro, who will share personal reflections on the importance of honoring fallen service members. Last Tuesday, I attended the roundtable, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
I do have an update. I just have a question for the water treatment plant. Are we planning on doing groundbreaking for that? Do we know?
I see our utilities director heading up here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council, Assistant Chief City Manager, Kevin Mariashik. So we're thinking along the same lines. Yes, it's actually currently under discussions about coordinating that and making sure, again, to involve the public. And it's an exciting event. A lot of us have been around for a groundbreaking of a water plant. So very excited for that. Looking forward to coordinating with the team and the public.
I appreciate that, yeah, because I think that having the groundbreaking is important, but more importantly is getting the information of water quality out to the residents. Reverse osmosis is a very expensive process, but it's an advanced process that really provides truly exceptional water quality to the people that we serve, and it's an opportunity to really talk about that. And I know that that's top of mind, clean water for individuals in our community. So I look forward to the groundbreaking and hope you're going to have some really cool presentations for the public when they come.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
On May 4th to the 5th, I attended the strategic planning session. That was great. I think this was probably one of my favorites. I feel that the team really honed in on what we need to look forward to in the next few years. I think we're going to have great, unique opportunities for connection with the community that we haven't had in previous years, and I'm looking forward to some of the great ideas being implemented that I know our team is going to push forward. And on May 6th, I attended on behalf of Councilman Pickett, the Treasure Coast Council of Local Governments. What a fun group. They missed you, Councilman Pickett. I'm glad I could attend in your stead. The conversation was around the importance of the cattle ranchers were there to talk about the importance of the maintenance and the care for lands and ag lands and the preservation of ag lands. Commissioner Clasby was there, and it gave us an opportunity to have a really good conversation on, even though the city of Port St. Lucie, is entitled and really has very limited amount of land left, is there an impact we can make in the community further than just the city, and then hopefully also Okeechobee being partners with the state of Florida on that, because I think preservation of land is top of mind of people throughout the state of Florida who hopefully want to see us preserve some of that instead of growing to the point of no return. But with that, I have one update. On April 25th, the City of Port St. Lucie celebrated outstanding residents, students, volunteers, and partner organizations with the Naturally PSL Environmental Stewardship Awards. The awards ceremony highlighted individuals and groups whose innovative projects, hands-on service, and community leadership continue to expand environmental awareness throughout Port St. Lucie. Thank you so much for all that you do. That is it.
Thank you. Councilman Bana?
Yeah, so, and one thing Vice Mayor left out, she was at the National Day of Prayer, along with the mayor and myself at the Mid-Florida Event Center. It was a beautiful ceremony where lots of leaders across the community came and just prayed for all aspects of the community, and so we enjoyed being there. The mayor and I know wore gray for brain cancer awareness, and so I just want to say that again. We've had a lot of cases of brain cancer throughout the community, particularly glioblastoma, and we're continually looking for cures and answers as to what's happening with that. We recently had Teacher Appreciation Week, so appreciation for all teachers and educators. I shared a story about my first grade teacher, Mrs. Hartman. I went to the school bookstore and I bought a book about the United States presidents. And I memorized the list of the table of contents, and I would not shut up about the U.S. presidents in the first grade. And so it was like at Windmill Point Elementary, like everyone, they would send me around to classrooms, like reciting the U.S. presidents in order. And this teacher like really invested in me, and then I actually wrote a letter to President Clinton and got a response, one of those auto-generated responses when I was in the first grade, and it really encouraged and inspired that interest in government and service. And so I think, and there's a lot of Mrs. Hartmans out there that help a lot of students each and every day, that take those students and really encourage them in their interests. And then I went to Scout Pack 499. They had the community award that they were working on, and so I got to talk a little bit about government service and the citizens. And a week later, I went to their blue and gold ceremony where they gave out different advancements and awards. For my announcement, May 22nd is Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful Appreciation Night with the St. Lucie Mets at Clover Park. During the game, we'll honor our Adopt a Street Golden Grabber winners and celebrate their efforts to keep Port St. Lucie beautiful. Bring 5 non-perishable items to receive a complimentary ticket to the Mets game that evening. And to close out, Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. It's a day late, but you guys, you shape our community with everything you contribute to our families. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, yes, so it was my honor to wear gray to support brain cancer awareness. The National Day of Prayer, that was a lovely service. We really enjoyed that. I was out in the Del Webb community with regard to the Tradition Trail. We met with Madame, our city manager, our public works director, to go over some questions that the residents had in Del Webb with regard to the future construction of the trail through their community. Went to the Hegner Leadership Awards dinner and like to congratulate Dr. Prince for his successful win of that award. It's a very prestigious honor in our community, so we congratulate him for all he has done, getting our schools to be A-rated schools along with his entire team. I did a speech with regard to the Tree of American Dreams, which is a beautiful sculpture that has been constructed by the Sansone Group. That is such an amazing family, and to be able to highlight the legacy of Mr. Anthony F. Sansone Sr. and his contributions to our community, to our economic development jobs corridor, has been huge and really has shaped what the future of our jobs corridor has looked like. And so it was an honor to be there to see that amazing sculpture, what it represented to the family, and the Sansone family's commitment to our community. Strategic planning was great. I agree, Vice Mayor, it was one of the best ones yet. We just keep getting better and better at it every time. And it's always with our residents in mind, getting that feedback from our community survey, getting the feedback from all of our public engagement that we do, our Citizen Summit especially, which is so important to our residents in the community, and you know, planning the future of Port St. Lucie based on what our residents tell us that they want and need. So that was great, and I know we're going to have some great things come out of it when we approve the plan later this year. I spoke at the Caribbean Radio HD ribbon cutting ceremony. That was wonderful. Also, this weekend, I participated at the iMind Foundation Pickleball Tournament. It was a tournament to raise funds for mental health awareness. And since May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I was able to present the proclamation to Jenny Bach, who is the president of that organization.
You played?
I did not play.
You said participate.
I participated by showing up as mayor and thanking everyone for being there and giving them the proclamation that I had already gave out for Proclamation Awareness Month. You know I'm not playing with my back.
Well, when you
So-
said participate, I was like, wow.
Yeah, no. Participate and play are two different things.
I was going to say, I was like, because I would have gotten jealous, because I
No.
know that they've been trying to get us to like do a tournament all together, but
They did ask me to play, however, I do not need to be in traction in the hospital, so I nicely said no, but was happy to be there to support on behalf of the council. Let's see, I don't think I'm missing anything. All right, so my announcement is our local teens are invited to apply to become part of the City of Port St. Lucie's Youth Council, our successful program that we love so much here in Port St. Lucie. Students entering grades 9 through 12 in the 2026-2027 school year who live in Port St. Lucie are eligible. Our application period began May 1st and runs through June 5th. Any interested students, and we encourage all to apply, to visit cityofpsl.com/youth council to complete the online application and submit your letters of recommendation. And again, we encourage all to apply. This is not just for public school students. If you're homeschooled, private school, any student who is in grades 9 to 12 can apply. And lastly, council, we received a letter from our amazing United States Senator Ashley Moody, and I would like to read that into the record. To the residents of Port St. Lucie, it was dated April 25th of this year. 65 years of growth and community spirit have transformed Port St. Lucie into one of the premier destinations in the Sunshine State. Celebrating this anniversary is a moment of pride for the families and leaders who have built a vibrant city from a quiet stretch of land into a thriving hub of innovation and opportunity. The success of Florida is mirrored in the history of this city, from the beautiful botanical gardens to the bustling neighborhoods and top-tier recreational facilities. Port St. Lucie represents the very best of the Florida lifestyle. This milestone is a testament to the vision of those who recognize the potential of the Treasure Coast and work tirelessly to create a safe and welcoming environment for all residents. Florida is a stronger state because of the achievements here over the last 6.5 decades. Congratulations to the city officials, business owners, and citizens who continue to drive this community forward. May your celebration be a source of inspiration as Port St. Lucie continues to build a bright future for the next generation. Sincerely, Ashley Moody, United States Senator. So thank you so much to Senator Moody for recognizing Port St. Lucie. We appreciate you very much. So that was wonderful to get from her. So with that, we have nothing further, and we are adjourned.